I look at his empty room every single day. You never think it will happen to you.
I didn't mean to do it, but you did it anyway. God help me, I did. I swear I don't know anything about this.
Then tell me why your car was there.
Someone must have set me up!
Her killer walked free for 18 years, smiling for cameras, lying to the world, even scamming her own mother out of money. Natalee Holloway was just 18 when she vanished that night. No body, no trace, nothing. Then in 2023, sitting in a small room in prison, he finally confessed: a beach, a cinder block, and a girl who fought until her very last breath. But here's the most painful twist. He can never be legally called her murderer, because time had already run out. The truth came out, justice never did. Is this fair? Listen to this. It was the night of May 30th, 2005, when an 18-year-old girl named Natalee Holloway went to Aruba to celebrate her high school graduation trip, and after that night she never made it back home. But the most heartbreaking part of this story is that her killer walked free in plain sight, was arrested twice, released twice, and smiled for the cameras while her mother, Beth Holloway, spent every single day searching for her daughter's body. Natalee had gone to a nightclub called Carlos and Charlie's with her classmates, and around 1:30 in the morning she got separated from her friends and left with 3 young men. One of them was Joran van der Sloot, a Dutch national, only 17 at the time, but with a coldness in his eyes that the whole world would later witness. After that night, Natalee was never seen again. The next morning, when her friends realized she hadn't shown up for the flight home, they knew something had gone terribly wrong. A massive search began across Aruba: helicopters, cadaver dogs, hundreds of volunteers, but there was no trace of Natalee, not her body, not a single piece of clothing, nothing. Joran van der Sloot and the 2 other boys from that night, brothers Deepak and Sudhesh Kalpo, were arrested, then released, then arrested again, but each time they walked free due to lack of evidence, and Joran was so brazen that he'd go on camera acting out his innocence, feed journalists false stories, and at one point even tried to scam Natalee's own mother out of money, telling her that if she paid him $25,000, he'd reveal where her daughter's body was, took the money, then said it was all a lie. Beth Holloway spent years wondering what had happened to her daughter, whether she suffered, whether she cried out for help, and during all this, Joran van der Sloot moved to Peru in 2010, where he murdered another young woman, Stephanie Flores, in his hotel room, because she had seen something about Natalee Holloway on his laptop. After this second killing, Joran was arrested in Peru and sentenced to 28 years, but he still walked free in Natalee's case, because there was no body, no forensic evidence to convict him in court. This silence lasted 18 years. Beth Holloway never stopped fighting for justice for her daughter, giving interviews, running awareness campaigns year after year, until 2023, when a turn came that no one expected. The FBI charged Joran with extortion and fraud, based on that old money scam, and offered him a plea deal. If he told the truth about what really happened to Natalee, his sentence could be reduced. Joran accepted the deal, and in October 2023, sitting with his attorney, he finally revealed the secret that had been buried for 18 years. He said that he and Natalee went to the beach, started kissing, then he tried to go further. Natalee said no and kneed him hard, and this enraged him so much that he kicked her in the face with such force that she was knocked unconscious. Then he picked up a cinder block lying on the ground and struck her head with it, and afterward dragged her body into the ocean, waded in up to his knees, and pushed her out to sea, then walked home as if nothing had happened. When Beth Holloway heard this entire confession, she said, "That's my daughter. She fought until her very last breath, because Natalee had tried everything to protect herself, and that very act of resistance became the reason for her death." The most painful part is that under Aruban law, the statute of limitations for murder is only 12 years, which had already expired, meaning Joran van der Sloot will never officially be convicted for Natalee's murder. The sentence he did receive was only for the extortion and fraud charges, 20 years, running alongside his existing sentence in Peru. So a girl whose entire life was stolen, whose mother sacrificed 18 years of her own life for one answer, and yet her killer is still not legally called convicted of Natalee's murder. There is only a confession, which is truth, but not justice. And in December 2025, news broke that Joran van der Sloot had attempted suicide in a Peruvian prison, found with a sheet tied around his neck, in critical condition. Perhaps even he could no longer carry the guilt he had buried for so many years. This story isn't just about a disappearance, it's the story of a mother's unbreakable courage who never gave up, a girl who fought for her dignity until her final moment, and a system where the truth finally came out, yet justice remained incomplete.